Okay, so I'm thrilled to be here with the three alto saxophone players in the new album called Altoism, Sharel Cassity, Greg Ward, and Rajiv Halim. Um, Thank you for joining this Zoom and this recording for promo with Vandoren. We'd love to hear about this project, and I've come up with some questions to ask you all to share with people reading or watching this what it was like to put this project together. So the first question, and the most obvious one, is what was it like to collaborate with two other alto saxophone players on this recording and throughout the whole project?
I thought it was great. I thought it was amazing to play next to such accomplished players and hear how each of our sounds and approaches were different.
Yeah, definitely. I'd have to agree. It was really wonderful to play with, people who are so confident and so have, such clear voices, and also the ability to, blend and, into and create like a really nice ensemble, almost instant. So it's a pleasure.
Yeah, I thought it was unique as well because you don't get to play along your fellow altoists too much outside of a big band, so that was another great advantage to this group.
So with three alto players, the same instrument in the front line, did you try to do anything different than you normally play in terms of sound or even, vocabulary or language, or did you kind of just go at it, I'm in this project and I'm bringing that to the whole band?
I think Greg alluded to a little bit of that just now about our ability to blend together as a trio of alto players. And I think that's something that the audience also noticed quite a bit. And I think that's also really cool because, I think Sharel said the three of us have pretty unique sounds and approaches to the instrument. And the fact that we're able to just come together and blend pretty cohesively is, we do, of course, make our statements in our own way, when it's time to solo and things like that. But, being able to blend on these melodies and different parts like that was really cool. So,
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys write or arrange any differently for this sort of thing than normal, like a quartet or a quintet, or, having, again, the three alto concept? Did that steer you in different directions?
I felt that it did. For me, writing for three altos is a different kind of sextet, and it allowed me to hear different timbres and registers of the horns. And it was really nice when it all came to fruition to hear it played so well and so musically. I feel like what Rajiv was saying about blending timbres, everyone in this group approaches each situation musically. I know that myself, Greg, and Rajiv all approach every situation we are in from a musical standpoint first. And so to hear these arrangements written for three altos and then played by three altos that have great musical sensibility was really fun.
Tell me, is there a specific Chicago influence in there now? Because, you guys I know, are all from slightly different places, but I think you guys find yourself in Chicago now a lot, if not all the time. So is there that Chicago influence, other than the deep dish or the hot dogs?
I don't know if there's something you could, see a clear line to like Chicago, but us all spending time there and playing on the scene and dialoguing with, other musicians and, playing with the greats who have been in Chicago, that has to have an effect on our sound and in the way that we play together. So, probably just like you can hear some of what's going on in the scene currently, and maybe what's happened in the scene in the past, in the way that we play together. Maybe something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, did any of trying to figure out the inspiration and the concept to do this album, did any of the Phil Woods multi-alto albums have any sort of influence on this, or not at all? Or
as far as I know, it didn't at first. After it was recorded, we started thinking all the albums we knew with Phil Woods that were multi-alto projects, and it was pretty inspiring.
Yeah, I don't think I personally was thinking about those types of projects per se, but more so just thinking about Greg and Sharel, how much I enjoyed their playing, just being able to be in that group with them. I mean, obviously all of us have heard those records, and so similar to the Chicago influence, I'm sure there was some of that seeping through, indirectly.
So Rajiv and Sharel, you guys play tons of instruments, all the saxophones and all that. I mean, I've seen Sharel from baritone to soprano. You guys do all this, but you keep coming back to the alto. Is the alto like specifically your voice, or what keeps bringing you back to that horn?
I think it's my first voice, so it's my most natural voice right now. And it's also what people are used to hearing. Although I've always heard tenor, and now I'm playing a lot more tenor. And for me, a saxophone is a saxophone player. I would like to hear Greg and Rajiv's take on this too, because I think everyone's a little different. But I feel like if you can play the alto well, you can play all the saxophones well. And then it's a rabbit hole on how much time you spend on it.
I don't know that I'd agree with that 100%, because I know for me there was definitely like a learning curve going to Barry, for instance.
I'd agree.
But mostly
I'm not good at anything else.
Mostly from an air standpoint for me. Like my lungs are like, I had like asthma as a kid, so my lungs are at a slight disadvantage, I think, from the beginning, maybe differently for most folks. But definitely going to Barry, there was a big crossover for me. But in terms of the fingers, obviously it's the same. So, and now I'm personally venturing more into a lot of other woodwinds, particularly clarinets, and I'm actually about to start taking some oboe lessons. So, yeah, yeah, exactly.
Don't do it. Don't do it. No, I'm sorry. I'm kidding. All of our oboe friends, I apologize.
But yeah, I mean, no matter what instrument I'm playing, whether it's flute, clarinet, hopefully oboe at some point, even all the other saxophones, definitely, I just have this natural, connection with the alto saxophone. I've definitely played a lot more tenor over the last maybe 5 or 6 years. And it's gotten to the point sometimes where I'm only playing tenor for like 2 weeks straight. And it's like, wow, I forgot how to play alto. But then I go and pick up the alto, and it's like the immediate connection is still there, And I think my alto playing is pretty influenced heavily by tenor players as well, So for me to go back and forth between alto and tenor is pretty seamless, but definitely alto is still number one for myself.
Greg, you want to add anything?
I only play soprano, and only on one gig with Linda O's band, when she, on the occasion every other year we do one gig. And so, I prefer just to focus on my composition and to try to be a better alto player every day.
Outstanding. Well, everybody should check out Altoism. It's a fantastic record. If you guys have anything else you want to add, we'd love to offer it up to everybody. If not, hopefully we'll get together when we hear of the next project for 3 altos or 7 altos or whatever it's going to be.